two cooks in the kitchen. We are going to be making a Pozole Verde. And Pozole starts with hominy. I've only ever used hominy from a can. And
let's see what you got.
the really big hominy is too starchy for me. I don't really like it very much. And the smaller hominy, which might be Mexican hominy, is really good. So all we could find when we were out was this dried hominy. And we're going to see how it works with that. So to start with, I'm going to soak this. I'm going to cover this with about 3 inches of water and see how much it expands overnight. And that's that. We'll see what it's like in the morning. So we have a little bit of prep to do for this. I got to roast these peppers and get the seeds out and the peels off. And we have our hominy. I'm going to pour off the water that we soaked it in. And then I'm just going to go right back in the pan with some fresh water. And we're going to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for an hour and a half. And then our hominy will be ready to use. And you can skip this if you have canned hominy because you don't have to worry about all this. All right, so I've got 1 onion. I've roughly chopped it up. I've got 4 tomatillos, which is about a ½ pound. I've roughly chopped those. I've got 2 serranos, 1 morita, because you can never go wrong with a morita, 2 poblanos, and 1 Anahei chili. And I've just roughly chopped all this stuff. I've got a ½ cup of pumpkin seeds, and we're going to start with those. And they're going to go into a dry pan, and it's the same pan we're going to be using for the next step. And these are going to cook while I stir them for about 4 minutes. They'll start popping, and then they'll be ready, and we'll set them aside and get on with our next step. I also have some bone-in chicken thighs that we're going to be cooking. I think there's 4 of them, and it was about 2½ pounds of chicken.
You could probably use a whole chicken then, can you? Or does
Well,
it say?
sure, you could. I think the thigh meat's going to be better.
Oh yeah,
for
but
this.
I mean, some people like whole chickens.
Yep. Okay, so I don't think you want to sit here and watch me for 4 minutes stirring pumpkin seeds.
It's fascinating.
We'll come back when they're doing something. So they're just starting to pop. Darkened up nicely. I'm going to go in this bowl right here.
What's in your hair?
And then into our pot, we'll go with the chicken. Oh, hopefully it's gone. So this turns out to be 5 thighs. We're going to add to that all of our chopped up veggies and fruits. So we can technically do fruits.
Just right here. That's better.
I do have big hands.
I know. Oh, it's good for piano playing.
And then, if that wasn't enough, you're going to go in with 1 tablespoon of Epazote. This is a Mexican leaf. If you can find fresh leaves,
You see the peppers.
be something. But I found that. It's nice to be able to have that in there. And 2 tablespoons of Mexican oregano. And 6 cups
Nice gooey stuff.
Yep.
Homemade broth.
Yeah, so now this is going to come to a boil. Then I'm going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for 40 minutes. And at which time we'll be ready for the to do another part of this concoction here. And I'll use that again. So, meantime, our
Oh, here it gets out of the way. Oh yeah, now it's kind of bigger, huh?
Yep. Well, it's just going to go that way. Look at that. So this is our hominy. It puffed up and kind of opened up a little bit. I'm wondering. Doesn't seem quite as starchy as the canned hominy. We're hoping that this is better flavor by using the dried. So there you have it for the moment. So I got my chicken out of the pot. When that cools, we're going to take the skin off, throw that away, and shred the chicken. And I'm going to take all this cooking juice with my veggies and everything and strain it off.
Splash.
And all these solid parts, I guess this will keep going, it'll fit. All these solid parts are going to go into the blender. And we're going to retain all this chicken stock and let it cool a little bit. Okay, so that's that part. I'm going to get this in the blender without making any mess at all.
You're so good at that.
And then we're just going to blend this up until it's smooth. And I think there should be enough moisture and everything's cooked, so it should go pretty well.
Good luck with that. Bunch of leafy things.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that oregano and
Yep.
stuff.
Epazote. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Not too much fuss. That's gonna go back in the dishwasher. All right. So before we can blend this, I want it to cool somewhat. But we're also going to add our pumpkin seeds. Remember those? And I'm going to get some cilantro and pick some cilantro leaves to add into this. So we'll come back when there's something more exciting happening. All right, so here's all the solids out of our pot of chicken. Blend these up. I added a half a cup of cilantro leaves to this. It's going to be like that.
Yeah, one of these days we're just gonna have to get one of those fancy super duper fast will blend anything mixers.
It's almost, it should have enough liquid in here to do this. So that's
Oh, oh man, I saw it do like a big spit.
Yep. And it's all the way over there.
Yep, good thing the puzzle's out of the way. Oh, almost.
Yep, see? Yeah, okay, so this is pretty smooth. Wow. It's really a nice flavor. Got a lot of chili going on. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is start the cooking process here. We're gonna go on a pretty high heat, medium high here. And we're gonna
Ooh, uh-oh. I'm worried now about the peppers.
carefully scrape some of the chicken fat off the top of this and put it in our pan. It'll get a little bit of water in it, but you know, that's fine. We're going to cook that out. And this is the same pan we cooked the chicken in, and we didn't clean it. So it's got some residue from that too.
Is that from the peppers?
No.
Okay. I'm scared if it is.
So we just want to get some fat in this pan. And get it to cook.
It's like a flash in the pan, but fat in the pan.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to cook this until all the liquid is gone and the fat is like kind of sticking to the bottom of the pan. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, now it's starting to stick to the bottom. It's, ooh, it smells like well-cooked fat. So next we go in with our blender full of goo. And this is just going to start cooking right away because the fat was hot. That's a good thing. And we want to stir this. Definitely have more I want to get out of it.
Oh, you want this now?
Yeah. But we're going to cook this just pretty quickly here. I can get the rest of this out later, I suppose. Yeah, that's most of it. So we want to stir this around. Let that saute for 30 seconds to a minute maybe. Looks like it can.
That's the brown blending in there is really nice.
Yeah. This is where you're going to get your flavor, so don't rush this. All right, now we have our chicken broth. Ow.
Did you burn it?
No,
oh, the
got
bowl
hot.
got hot,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sitting next to the burner.
Okay, careful.
In we go.
Ah! Some spilled over the other side there. Okay.
Okay. All right, so now that should be our pile of flavor that's going into the bowl. And the next thing we want to add is our hominy. Sorry.
This is a messy one.
If you want it to be poured in from that side, it's just going to happen that way. Chicken. And the other two Poblanos, I cut into these nice little, there's like 1 inch by 1/2 inch pieces or so. 1.5 by 1 maybe, something like that. And in those go And we're gonna let this cook and the flavors marry. And it should probably reduce a little bit. But this is our pozole.
Perfectly nice and thick.
And I really wish I'd made some cornbread. But we ran out of sour cream, and can't make cornbread without sour cream if you're gluten-free.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine, we don't need it.
So there you go. This is going to cook along.
For about how long?
For about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's just going to be our dinner. Right, so here's our pozole. It's looks really good. And you know, I've been making sure it's good, tasting along, and it is good. It's quite soupy. It would be nice to have cornbread.
You and the cornbread. It'll be fine.
But it looks beautiful.
Oops.
Little bowl wipe.
It's brown from over here.
Add a few, yeah, it's kind of brown.
It's hard for me to get good light.
Add a few tomatoes. And I want these, I want a little more serrano. It's not really very hot. So I'm adding a little serrano. And some cilantro leaves. Come on. Shouldn't really take all this much time. Lovely little flower. Some other flowers. Some other flowers. And there you have it.
Oh,
Pozole.
see what that tastes like, huh? Gotta get a piece of the. See how the hominy is. What do you think?
I don't know, where is it?
Just in general.
There we go. All right, that's really good. It's got a flavor of those chilies. It's got just a little bit of heat, not a lot. It's pozole. The hominy isn't too starchy, and I think it's really a good dish. So, thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.